Alright, so with the release of Monument of Triumph, we managed to accomplish our goals of breaking the servers and, surpassing Marathon's peak player count. We kind of annihilated it. So, what now? Are they going to greenlight Destiny 3? Are they going to reverse the decision to end development on Destiny 2? Well, you know what? Well, firstly, unless Bungie somehow has been keeping unless Bungie has been somehow keeping the secret, Destiny 3 it's obviously not in development. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think that the player count, despite hitting over 1 million daily active users that played in activity, which is almost 1/3 of Destiny 2's launch, according to this graph that I see everyone use. I don't think that was high enough to warrant a Destiny 3, honestly. I'm sorry, but it didn't even manage to break 200k on Steam alone. Remember, both Lightfall and the Final Shape were considered to have underperformed financially, despite their launches having the highest peak player counts on Steam and both being higher than Monument of Triumph. But I don't want this entire thing to be a Doom post. I do think the player count was high enough that it caught Bungie and Sony's attention. From what I remember, the reason they decided to end development on Destiny 2 was because they couldn't turn the player loss from the Edge of Fate around with Renegades. And, well, we got almost 60,000 more people than that with just a free update alone, Now, obviously, there are factors as to why it got that high, such as it being the final update and all, but, again, I don't think Sony and Bungie will just, ignore this, okay?
As for what they'll do, there's a few possibilities I see. A, they don't change their mind and this remain Destiny 2's final update, and, we might get Destiny 3 in the future, we might not. B, they see that people still like Destiny, but they aren't fully convinced that this will be a long-term effect, so they decide to either, remaster Destiny 1 or port that content over to Destiny 2, or, remaster the vaulted content for Destiny 2. Now, if they do end up doing this, it's probably, we would probably have to purchase the content again. But, personally, I'm not against this, because, mainly because, for the expansions, they're remastering, 10 to 8-year-old content, so it was going to cost money anyways if they did release it in a separate game, And for the seasons, they'd probably bundle those in with the expansions, but if they didn't, then yeah, that would be kind of scummy, but I would be willing to pay that, honestly, if it meant, Destiny 2 having a future again, C, they're fully convinced that people still like Destiny, and they continue with whatever they had planned for, Shattered Cycle. Now, granted, they would probably have to rewrite it a bit to make it fit with what's currently happening in the story. But, enough about Bungie. What can we do? Well, the only thing I can really think of is to just keep playing Destiny. I have seen people say that if we do want a Destiny 3, then we should play Marathon, but, that's just not right. That's just completely incorrect. Look at Titanfall and Apex. That was basically the same situation, and, look at what happened. And, this isn't saying that you can't play Marathon, or that you'd be betraying Destiny if you did play it, play what you want to play. But you gotta understand that would only show Bungie that we want more Marathon, not more Destiny. And I do see what they are trying to say with that, if we want Bungie as a studio to survive long enough to make Destiny 3, we should play Marathon to give them money to keep them from shutting down, but basically the exact same thing can be done with just buying stuff from Eververse. Because, for a while, Destiny 2 as game was just funded pretty much completely by the Eververse, And I'm not saying that I want Marathon to die, just to clear that up. I love that game, even though I'm kind of shit at it. But playing it's just not going to magically manifest a D3. So yeah, just keep playing Destiny, otherwise Bungie is going to think that the player count spike was only because this was the game's final update. Anyways, that's all I had for you today, just a short video that I wanted to get out there, If you liked it, I would really appreciate if you'd like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and share. And with that, I'll see you later.